It's Unreal Man here. The truth of the manosphere back at it again on a lovely Monday evening. Alright guys, so we're gonna talk about some topics here today, but first of all I'm gonna let you know that I wanted to make a video this weekend. I just got, for God's sake man, just drop something. Yeah, I wanted to make a video this weekend actually. Either on St. Andrew or on the millennial situation that we have right now with millennials. I think I was going to call it, are millennials a failure or just unlucky? Something like that. Oh look, St. Andrew is actually here. Well, he was here. He said, looking forward to watching this one tomorrow. I shall be working this evening. I definitely agree the minimum wage has generated more problems than solutions. We're going to talk about that. Will you make a video response to Juicel? You know what? Juicel needs to come here. Okay, I'm not going to waste my time writing a video response to Juicel. He needs to come here and stop avoiding the live streams, because he's not going to get anything out of me via text format. You know, it's quicker for me to explain it by speech. If Juicel wants a response, okay, he's gonna have to get it by coming in the live streams. So nobody seemed to be typing anything. Is the sound clear? It should be. You know, the sound should be nice and clear. I don't know. It seems like nobody wants to chat. Let me write something here. It won't let me write anything either, unfortunately. Strange, right? Strange, very strange. But yeah. Like I said before, these live streams, okay, they are coming to an end by probably at the latest at the end of next month, when the clocks go back. But more than likely before that. See, I like to do these live streams at around, well, when the light is still around, like an hour earlier than this. But nobody's gonna come in. You guys like to come at nighttime, like, I don't know what you guys are doing that you can't come to a live stream right now. I really don't know what you guys are doing, but a lot of you guys need this information. You need this information because, let's be honest, these mainstream channels won't touch these topics. It's too taboo. I'm one of the few guys who touch these kind of topics, man. I mean, where's that last guy? Where is he? I mean, the guy has been missing the live streams. And he's the one who tells me he wants to see him. He never comes. He's not been here for a while. You know, what are these guys doing? I mean, I don't know why it's hard to just put a notification on your phone. Everybody has a smartphone. Some people don't actually have a PC. I don't know how. I mean, I know how you can get by without a PC, but I don't know why you'd want to get by without a PC. But then again, I make a living on a PC, so I'm a bit different. But I want to talk about the minimum wage. Okay? The minimum wage. Now, the thing is with the minimum wage, when I say it's too high, it does vary from place to place, right? The minimum wage does vary from place to place. The thing is with the minimum wage, okay, is that the key is in the name. Minimum wage, okay, should only allow you for a absolute minimum lifestyle. Okay? You shouldn't have your own place. I mean, if you can afford one, great, but it shouldn't be a prerequisite. If you're working minimum wage, you get your own place. If you're working minimum wage, you have the latest smartphone. You shouldn't have the latest smartphone. You shouldn't have a PlayStation 5. You shouldn't have a gaming PC. You shouldn't have a nice vehicle. You shouldn't be driving an old banger or taking public transport. You shouldn't be taking trips to different countries. You shouldn't be eating out at restaurants. Everything should be minimum. You should be living on the absolute red line. Okay? That's what it should be. And you should never feel comfortable working minimum wage. Minimum wage should not be anything close to comfort. See, the minimum wage jobs were never designed for you to make a living off. The minimum wage jobs were designed primarily for high school dropouts and kids in college, right? That's what they were primarily designed for. I mean, you're not supposed to be working minimum wage like above the age of 25, man. Even that, but like think about it, right? The lifestyle of the minimum wage should be, ramen noodles and low quality foods, house sharing. You should be living on the absolute breadline. What we have now is we have a socialist communist group of people, like the people you see in the thumbnail, trying to raise the minimum wage. Okay? They want to raise the minimum wage. Why? Because they feel entitled. They feel entitled to money. Nobody's entitled to money. See, if you're living your life in the correct way, you shouldn't be worrying about the minimum wage. Because you shouldn't be working it for more than a year anyway. I'm talking about after you get your education, after college or high school or whatever you want to do. You shouldn't be working minimum wage anyway for long term, so it shouldn't really matter. It's a temporary thing. It's like what JB said. We have people now that are working jobs that were designed for high school dropouts, college students, and they're trying to make a career out of that. That's not what it was designed for. See, why should somebody else pay for your lack of progress? Why? Why should somebody else pay for your lack of progress? Your lack of progress is the reason why you're on minimum wage. So why should somebody pay for it? Does that make any sense? You want somebody to pay for your lack of progress. But it's your lack of progress. So why should anybody else foot the bill? That doesn't make any sense. You as an individual are responsible to move up on the food chain. If you refuse to move up on the food chain, then you should suffer. You should suffer. Because you're refusing. You are deciding to refuse to move up on the food chain. So why should you be rewarded with an increase of minimum wage? Now, the people who advocate for minimum wage increases, okay, the people who advocate for minimum wage increases, they claim, okay, they claim, okay, to be against big businesses. Actually, raising the minimum wage actually destroys small businesses. It doesn't go against big businesses. Walmart is not going to go out of business if you put the minimum wage to $15 an hour. They're not. Walmart's not going to go out of business. What's going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen. A small toy shop, okay, a small independently owned toy shop with a physical store. You raise the minimum wage, they weigh up they look at the books, right? And they weigh it up and they say, you know what? It's not worth it to have a toy shop anymore. Let's just sell this online. Let's just sell this, have our own website, sell it on Amazon, sell it on eBay. We don't need to have a toy shop anymore. You barely see toy shops nowadays. You barely see them. But that's just an example. Minimum wage increases, all it would do would drive people out of work. Because they're going to start firing people. You know, they're going to start firing people. That's what they're going to do. They're going to start firing people. People are just going to sell online and have paid people from the Philippines or some third world country to manage the online store. This is why socialism doesn't make any sense. You know, socialism makes no sense because nothing is stopping you from outsourcing the work. Why would I hire somebody? You know, because people have their toy shops and their guitar shops or whatever they have that not because they have to, because they want to. These people are not stupid. They know about selling online, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people sell online anyway. A lot of people sell online and they have their independent shop. People are just going to close their independent shops. That's what they're going to do. And it's going to be a complete monopoly of the big chains. That's what it's going to be. So socialists, they have no clue what they're talking about. Raising the minimum wage increases homelessness. More people are going to become homeless. Look at California. What, you think that's a coincidence that there's so many homeless people in California? Oh, that's just a coincidence. No, it's not a coincidence. Didn't California give the $15 minimum wage? Somebody tell me. I think so they did. I don't know. Didn't California do that? Why is there a homeless crisis? Why are there so many people living in their cars in California? Because raising the minimum wage, it also destroys the work ethic of the people. It destroys the work ethic of the people because you give too much too quick. You shouldn't be giving too much too quick. People should have to struggle at the beginning of their life. People should have to struggle so they learn how to manage money. You give people $15 an hour for working some trash job. I don't think they're going to learn how to manage money. Where are they going to learn it? The schools don't teach it. You have to suffer to learn how to manage money. Very few people's parents are going to teach them. The schools aren't going to teach them. So where are they going to learn how to manage money? $15 an hour minimum wage is a hell of a lot of money. And they want to make that national. They want to make that national. That's a hell of a lot of money for, minimum wage. That is a hell of a lot. $15 an hour? I'm not saying you're rich with that, but for minimum wage, 15? I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money. Now they say, you look at places like London, okay? I'm going to get to these comments. I'm seeing quite a few comments. I'm going to get to these comments, but we're already gone almost 16 minutes. Wow, this is going quickly. I need to do this quickly, but so they're talking about London living wage. They create these fake terms, living wage. Oh, the living wage in London is $10.80 or 11 or 10.50. This living wage is nonsense. It's nonsense because the reality is they're basing it off, of their own metrics of living, Living wage is not 10 something an hour. Illegal immigrants are working for like 4 or 5 an hour and they're still living. They're not dead, They're not dead. Okay? Let me block this guy, man. I mean, you're blocked on this channel, man. I'm gonna make this stream subscriber only as well. I may make it subscriber only. You're not gonna come on here and insult me, man. And let me guarantee you, they're never gonna make a response video refuting what I say. They're just gonna troll. So yeah. What was I saying? So yeah, back to the point. These immigrants, illegal immigrants, are still living. They're not dead. Because they're sharing a house with 5-6 people. Yeah, it's not perfect living situations, but they're still alive. The living wage is something that they made up. Socialists made it up to try to increase the minimum wage. You don't need to make $10.80 an hour to live in London. That's BS. And also, they're basing it off a 40-hour work week. A 40-hour work week, is the minimum amount of work. If you want to make more money, start a side hustle. You want to make more money, try to get a second job. What that guy said, Inslayer Clone said he sells on eBay. Sell on eBay on the weekends. Sell on eBay on the weekends. You're choosing to work 40 hours a week. You got no right to complain. Like I said in previous live streams, there's people in third world countries. There's this documentary called, it's a documentary in Thailand, Phuket. No more foreigners or no more tourists. They're working all hours God sent. They're working all hours God sent just to stay afloat. People don't want to do that, right? People don't want to do that. But yet we say we're better than the third world. How are we better than the third world if the first world is, if we're not better than the third world? The third world is better because they have the mentality to do what it takes. So let me get into these comments. There's some comments here. Let's have a look at these. Enslaved Clone says hello to you. If you raise the minimum wage, everything will be raised in turn. They wouldn't be better off. They wouldn't be better off. They wouldn't be better off. It's just like with UBI. Oh yeah, let's give UBI. It's not gonna work. Why do we need UBI, Universal Basic Income? They say, oh, people work too hard. They need time to explore their passion. We've already seen that in the pandemic. What are people doing? Smoking weed. That's what they're doing. Who's exploring their passion in the pandemic? How many people, even you guys ain't doing it. You guys ain't doing it. How many of you guys started a business throughout this pandemic? How many of you guys? almost none of you guys did it. And I told you guys over a year ago, start a business. Almost none of you guys did it. So nobody's exploring their passion. This is nonsense socialist theories that people are gonna, become great if we just give them more time and we just work so hard. That's not even, and even if it were true, you think the Gen Zers are interested? You think the millennials are interested? These guys are just gonna be on TikTok. You're living in Disneyland. This universal basic income is a joke. When is the mother of all crashes coming? Well, you say, when are we going to enter a Great Depression? I cannot tell you that. I wish I could tell you that. I cannot tell you that, unfortunately. Malcolm Sutherland says, although the public sector is killing the private sector as the government can afford to pay minimum wage, whereas most businesses can't. The thing is, right, is that when it comes to minimum wage, okay, I actually have another theory that can end homelessness, right? My theory is that homeless people should work for free. No, some people say, oh, that's inhumane. No, homeless people should be allowed to trial for small businesses. So small businesses should be allowed to take homeless people and pay them nothing, right? And if they do well, they get the job permanently, full-time. Because let's face it, nobody's going to hire a homeless person. So there has to be a way to get these people. And my plan, my solution is to allow people to hire homeless people for free. Don't pay them anything. Just give them some food, some water. They can sleep on the streets. They can come back. I know this sounds dumb, but it actually would work. They can come into work, okay, learn for a few months, and eventually they're going to be trained up. Then they can become a full-time employee and start their life, But the homeless, this socialism is not helping with homeless people. My one is better. Raising standard wages also causes property prices to soar, so the worker loses in the end. Well, property prices, at the end of the day, property prices in the West, depending on where you are, but where the jobs are primarily, the prices of property, to me, everywhere in the world you're paying for location, but you're paying to be close to the city, but you're not actually paying to be exactly where the jobs are. You're not paying. There's a lot of places that are close to the city, but they don't really have anything so much that's special that you'll be, but that's the thing. They use that to increase the property prices, but they're not really improving these areas. These areas suck. Most areas in this country are crap. There's nothing to do, and another thing that the local high streets are dead. The local high streets, the town centers. Even when I was a kid, the town centers used to be buzzing. You used to go to, I don't have a local town center where I grew up, but the next town has a town center. It was buzzing, You don't see kids in the town. You don't see people in the town center. You go to the town center, it's just a bunch of old people. Everybody's going to the main city now. And that's a problem for small businesses as well. So the reason minimum wage has gone up to $15 in the US is due to demographics, a lack of young people who would traditionally fill those roles. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I think that I said the same thing, that there's a lot of old people nowadays. They do not understand that pay is directly determined by the value you provide to the market. I've said that as well, that we're going to be talking about automation. We're going to be talking about automation and how that's going to affect as well. Worse than 2008, a lot worse than 2008, a lot worse than 2008. Because you got to think, we were already heading for a recession. We're going into a Great Depression. You shouldn't be talking about 2008, you should be talking about the 30s. The 30s. This is going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. And I'm not trying to scare people, but, we're in trouble. The only found workers coming in Thailand are working overtime now since the foreigners' haven stopped coming there. I mean, I've seen, Pattaya is a mess right now. Pattaya are struggling. They're struggling. I mean, it's crazy. Like, those women, I mean, they ain't getting nothing. They're getting no service. I mean, Pattaya in Thailand, Bangkok is, they're finished. I've seen some videos. I mean, there's nothing going on. That's what a voluntary job is. Homeless people can work there. Well, they can volunteer, but that's not going to help. I mean, can a small business sign up to the scheme? Aren't those government jobs? I don't know. I assume that they're government jobs. But anyways, let's go on to the next topic, the class. Okay, moving to the upper class now. We already gone 25 minutes. So in terms of the class, right? In terms of the class, a lot of people don't seem to realize how difficult it is to move up to a different class. If you're born into the lower class, if you're born into the working class, it's only a 4% chance that you're going to make it into the upper class. 4%. This is called the cycle of poverty. That's what they call it, the cycle of poverty, because you are in a poverty cycle. Your parents were poor, your grandparents were poor, and you're poor, and you're going to remain poor. Okay, you're going to remain poor. And the thing is, right, is that you want to get into that 4%. They say they keep the wealth at the top, and, the wealthy get richer, the poor get poorer. You know what? There's some truth to that. But I'm gonna be in that 4%. I've always seen myself as a classy guy. And I don't care what anyone says. The socialists will tell you, oh, you can't make it. Join us. It's a very sinister movement because they want to destroy you so that you join. See, socialism can thrive under a situation where you are destroyed mentally. Like I've said before, it's all about the mind. It's all about the mind. When you're destroyed mentally, when you're brainwashed, that's when you join them. But when you know that you gotta make it in that top 4%, see, they will say that 4% is too small. I say, you know what, let it be small, because I'm gonna get in that 4%. I'm gonna get in that 4%. I'm gonna be somebody who works his way up to the higher class. Now, you can expatriate. Now, expatriation is not an option right now, but you can expatriate and automatically join the higher classes. You can automatically do that as an expat. But in terms of this Western society, it's tough. It's very tough because, Dan Pena said the cycle of poverty is harder to crack. It's harder to defeat, than crack cocaine. The cycle of poverty, and I got to re-upload my cycle of poverty video. But we are chained in this cycle. And, this is why Alex Hormozi said, don't listen to your parents. Your parents have most likely not told you that you can become rich. Your parents are probably lottery players. They're probably doomers because they know that it's over for them. They know that they're too old. They know that they don't stand a chance to compete. But that's the thing. You have to surround yourself with people who are competing. That's why you got to get rid of these loser friends. You got this one guy who's going to boxing, Oh yeah, I want to box. Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about. This one boxer guy, right? Boxing is one of the worst sports you can partake in. Why? Because the people who do it are criminals. They're the scum of society. Most boxers, Mike Tyson was a criminal before he did boxing. Mike Tyson was raping, he said he's going to rape. He said what to that guy Teddy Atlas when he was a kid. He was 15. He said he's going to rape a 12-year-old or something. These people are, even Mike Tyson himself said, boxing, you have to be crazy to do this. And he's right. They're crazy. People in these boxing gyms are crazy. They're poor. If you want to get into sports, get into golf, get into tennis, get into lacrosse, get into upper class sports that appeal, motorsports, sports that appeal to the upper class, the upper echelons, horse racing. Try to mix with higher quality people. Stop mixing with low quality people, man. That brushes off on you. It brushes off on you to mix with low quality people. And if you have autism, which some of you guys do, don't hang around with autistic people. I know it's tough. A lot of non-autistic people don't want to hang around with you. But don't hang around with autistic people. You don't want to end up, compulsory viewing. Compulsory viewing for autistic people, Shy Boys. Go and watch the Shy Boys documentary. A bunch of autistic dweebs. You become worse. You become worse when you keep yourself in your comfort zone and hang around with a bunch of weirdos. You become more weird. Look at those guys in the Shy Boys documentary. The guy says, I'm unemployed, I'm ugly, so, he's, what do you say? I'm unemployed, I'm ugly, so, nobody wants to date me. But it's not just that nobody wants to date him. Nobody wants to be his friend, nobody wants to hire him, because you're autistic. Yeah, he said, I'm ugly, I'm autistic, and I'm unemployed. That's a trifecta, man. I mean, the ugly thing, but it's how you believe. If you believe that you're too ugly, then that's a problem as well. Like many boomers, my parents held the same job for decades, 9 to 5, bank holidays and all that. I spent 15 years trying to tell them that the world is gone. But that's why Alex Hormozi said, don't listen to your parents. Because, first of all, there's no such thing as a job for life. But I'm surprised your parents held the same jobs for decades. That might be because you're in Scotland or somewhere like that. But I don't know. But the reality of the situation is this, right? The reality of the situation is this. You got to understand, right, that even the boomers didn't have it easy. We got to stop this. I know a lot of guys, like that guy who came and trolled me. These guys are bitter about boomers. Boomers didn't have it easy either. Boomers didn't have it easy. The boomer generation was also a failure. It's just that the millennials are so bad of a failure that it makes the boomers look good. The boomers didn't do that well, because if they did that well, why their kids are a mess? You can't tell me that the boomers were a roaring success. They were fantastic. They all did so well, yet their kids are all a mess. It doesn't work like that. The boomers were also messed up. A lot of boomers were messed up. But the thing is with boomers, one thing you notice about boomers that differs from the millennials and maybe some of the Gen Xers is that boomers gave up childish hobbies. You don't see boomers watching stuff like cartoons. You don't see that. You don't see them doing that, man. You don't see them watching, the Flintstones or the He-Man and stuff that came when they were kids. They're not watching that. They're not playing Pac-Man and because boomers grew out of games. I mean, Pac-Man and Space Invaders and all these games that came out in the late 70s. Boomers grew out of that stuff, man. Boomers grew out of that stuff. Millennials are man-child. They didn't grow up. I wanted to do a video on this article that was written about gaming, but articles are all locked now. You have to pay subscriptions to read articles now. So I cannot do any more videos on articles. I'm not paying them no damn subscription, but that's the thing. But they get offended. They get offended when you say not play video games. They actually get offended. Why are you getting offended for? Why are you getting offended? Listen, I'm a big gamer, but I know that it's bad. It's like, I'm not saying that stop playing, but at least admit what you're doing is. They can't even admit what they're doing is bad. Because they want to believe that what they're doing is good. Because they can't take criticism. And a lot of these people have kids. I don't know how many of you guys are in the gaming community. I know you in Slayer Clone, you're in the gaming community. You know about these guys. These guys are, 40 years old with kids and they're playing video games. There was this one guy in the gaming community. He was ashamed that he was having the same hobby as his kid. He was playing, I think, Halo and Call of Duty and stuff like that, which is a kid's game. Halo's a kid's game. These guys are not even playing adult games. Halo's not for kids. It's got shooting. It's for kids. I remember back in '06, was it '06 or '07 when Halo 3 came out? It was crazy. Some of you guys must remember Halo 3. I think it came out in '06 or '07. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. Like everybody was playing. It's a kids game. Call of Duty is a kids game. Just go look at Call of Duty. You know, it's a kids game. They don't even play like those adult military shooters, like, you know, where you're actually playing with adults. You know, there are some of them, like there's this game called Squad, where you play, you know, I haven't played it for years, but you play as like and it's all like, it's a realistic military shooter. It's all adults. You don't hear no, hey man, look at that man. You don't hear no kids. They're playing Fortnite. Exactly, they're playing Fortnite. How can you play Fortnite? That's not even like an adult game. Like at least play like Flight Simulator or something that's technical, something that's, you know, they're playing kids games and they're proud of it. I mean, this is why the boomer is superior to the millennial. The boomer wasn't so fantastic, but they grew up. The millennial did not grow up. He's mentally, something's wrong with him. You know, something's wrong with them. Why playing Call of Duty, bro? Call of Duty, I mean, Call of Duty is the kiddiest game on the planet. You know, how can you play? I mean, the kids are on there like calling each other his moms and all this. I mean, like, what the hell is that? Like, you know, what put me off gaming is when I went into a game server and I hear the voice. You know, the last video game I played was Valorant. You right, Valorant. You know, the people, most of the people in this game, their voice is not even cracked. They have a voice that is not even cracked. They have a high-pitched voice. You can't even tell if you're playing with a boy or a girl. That's how bad it is. And adults are playing this. And they say, oh, well, I don't play with them. I play with my friends who are adults. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter, that's the demographic who's playing it. You know? I mean, the boomers, I spent too long on this, but yeah, I need to get back to the topic of moving to the upper class. So, yeah, man, I mean, look, a lot of you guys are going to remain in the lower class. And the thing is, why do people say I'm working class? I'm a hard working class man. That's nothing to be proud of. Why are you proud of being working class? Like, you know, why are we trying to be proud of being working class? Like, you know, oh, I come from a working class background. Okay, what's good about that? Oh, because you're a socialist, right? I mean, but I mean, it's like, what's good about that? How is that good? You know, that's not good. Everybody should be striving to become upper class. Oh, well, I don't need to be upper class. So why are you complaining then? Why are you complaining? You shouldn't be complaining. See, they're pretending that they're proud of being working class. You know, I don't even want to live around people who are proud of being working class. And that's another reason why I want to expatriate. I want to expatriate so I can live in the richest part of the country. You know, I don't have to live around peasants. Oh, you can't call people peasants. Well, I can. I just did. You know, because they want to say, oh, you're too sensitive. You know, you should be more sensitive, Unreal. Yeah, what did sensitivity do to me in my youth? Did it help me? No, it didn't. Sensitivity equals poverty. That's what Dan Pena said. You know, you got to engage with you know, business events are not open right now. There's also many right-wing working class people. Well, you know, these people who talk about I'm working class is like it's a good thing. You know, because my parents were working class, therefore I have to be working class. No, your parents messed you up in the mind. That's what they did. They told you that all you can be is working class. You know, they messed you up and you don't even see it. You don't see it. Like, you got to see, that's a mental, that's like a mental trauma they did to you. They made you believe, they traumatized you so much mentally that you don't believe that you can become better than them. This is why the millennials are a mess. Every generation is supposed to advance. You know, every generation is supposed to advance, man. But that's the thing. We don't want to advance. We want to stay at the same level. Well, stay at the same level, but just don't complain then. You're choosing to stay at the same level, but then you complain. What are you complaining about? You made that choice. You know, you made that choice. I don't even remember what the last topic is. What's the last topic, man? I already forgot. How do I get the title on this? How can I forget what the topic is? What was it? It was, I said, somebody tell me what the title is. Put it in the chat. Knowing what your true value is. Yes, that's true. Knowing what you see. See, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. This society tries to devalue you. What they told me when I went to that, and I mentioned this before, when I went to that job thing when I was unemployed back in 2016, they told me, right, you have to take any job. That's what they told me. You have to take any job. Why do I have to take any job? Why? Because you told me to? Are you God? You know? What do you mean I have to take any job? What kind of nonsense is that? But some people accept that. See, they accept that. They say, yeah, I'll take any job. Well, I'll take any job then, but I mean, you see, when you take that job, right? When you take that job, if you get comfortable in that job, that's it. Nail in the coffin. That's a nail in the coffin for you. That's a nail in the coffin for you. See, I don't get comfortable in being a loser. You want to work a loser job? Go ahead. Go ahead. But you got to realize that every time you go to that loser job, you're destroying yourself. You know, you actually are destroying yourself every time you go and work a loser job. Because here's the thing, your brain is turning into mush. Why do you think these guys are so dumb who work loser jobs for their whole life? Why do you think they're so dumb? Why do you think they lack charisma? They lack energy. Their brain is not known, they're actually worse than when they went to school. See, if you work a job that is non-technical, right? Like George's Journal, library assistant, you become very dumb. You know? George's Journal thinks he can become a programmer. He cannot become a programmer. Who the hell? How's he going to compete with these Asian kids who come in out of high school with they've already been doing programming for years? How's he going to compete? He cannot become a programmer. He already gave up anyway. But he cannot. His mind is messed up for what he chose. See, let me tell you something. And I mentioned this before, but let me talk about George's Journal a bit. He's a good example. George's Journal, right? He had an internship. Okay, he had an internship at is it Adobe or what's that thing called? It's not Adobe. It's not Python. What's it called? I can't even remember. But some company, right? And he decided to not go to that internship because he was scared. He decided not to go to the internship because he was scared. And now look at his life. See, fear. When you live your life through fear, you're done. You know. See, George's Journal didn't. You see, that's the thing. That he was 19 back then. He didn't go to that internship, right? That wasn't actually the nail in his coffin. The nail in his coffin was what he did after that. Was to go and work as a library assistant. Right? That was the nail in his coffin because his mind got destroyed by working that. Those jobs destroy your mind. You know, you're better off. See, I do an analytical job. I look at graphs, I look at charts, I look at data. You know, I do analytical things. I mean, when you're working, you know, some loser job, your mind gets destroyed. You can't even function. You know, I mean, let me tell you something. I don't know if I'm going to make this video on Just James, but the guy cannot count. And same thing with hiding in my room. He cannot count. I had this video up on my channel, my old channel. Hiding in my room cannot count the clock. He literally cannot count the clock. He has to use his hands. He has to use his hands to do 24 minus 17. He can't do it with his brain. This is what happens when you just sit at home, play video games, or work, lose a job. Your brain doesn't function properly. You become retarded. You become retarded, and that's when that's the nail in your coffin. That's the nail in your coffin. That's how I know it's over for every single one of those people I talk about. That's how I know. See, people don't understand that. They don't understand that. How can you not calculate the time difference between Japan and UK in your head? How can you not calculate that in your head? And you're a grown adult. You can't calculate time difference? I mean, this is the problem with people. This is the problem with people. They don't understand. They don't understand. And I'm screaming on the streets. I'm screaming on the streets because it makes me angry. It makes me angry that people don't understand. Some people are just dumb, like I said in the last live stream. But see, I can see what my true value is. I knew that I was better than any job. Oh, here comes a boxer. Here comes a boxer. Boxing is not good. Okay? Boxing is not good. If you box in terms of punching the bags and, if you box in terms of punching the bags and the pads, it's okay. But the boxing culture is not good. Okay? Boxing is not good. Stop promoting it on my channel. Okay? Stop. Okay, stop. We don't support boxing here. Okay? You're a brute. I'm not a brute. Okay? I'm a gentleman. You want to be a brute? Go somewhere else. We want to play golf. We want to play tennis. Okay? We want to play lacrosse, yachting. We're trying to become upper class here. We're not trying to become some drug addicted boxer criminals, rapists. We're not trying to become that. Okay? So get your mind right. Okay? Anyways, I know what my lifestyle is like in other countries, and it pains me every day. It pains me every day to know what my lifestyle is like in other countries. I am being punished due to my lack of action. I could have been living the great life in other countries. California, we mentioned California. I don't know if you just came in here. But we mentioned California before. But you can watch it again. Is NoFap lucrative? Shall I do live coaching? Juicel, I don't know if you're a troll or what. You make 30 to 50 an hour a day, okay? You make 30 to 50 a day. You say Dan Pena likes boxing. I know he likes boxing, but I'm not Dan Pena. I'm not saying don't go and box once in a while. I'm saying become a boxer as a career. You can go and box. I'll go and box somebody, for once. But I'm not going to do it every week. I mean, that's stupid. Then you end up like Patrick Day, dead. A guy whose father was a doctor. His mother worked for the UN, and he ended up boxing and dead. Come from an educated family and ended up dead. It's not good. It's not good, man. Too risky. You make 30 to 50 a day, and you're talking about life coaching. Who are you going to coach people? You need to focus on yourself. You make 30 to 50 a day. You know why you make 30 to 50 a day? Because you don't know anything. See, when I didn't know anything, I used to make $1,000 a month, right? Now, I don't make $1,000 a day, but I'm getting there. Okay, I'm getting there. One day I will get there. But it's easy for me to make a few thousand a month. No problem. Because I increased my knowledge and understanding. You don't have any knowledge, so that's why you're poor. If you increase your knowledge and understanding, it's going to be different. How soon do you plan to relocate abroad? Well, I mean, I'd love to relocate abroad as soon as possible, but the pandemic, and I'm not going to take their injections just to relocate abroad. I'm not going to, because I'm not going to submit to tyranny. Life coaching, you can charge people 4K a month. Listen, Juicel, man, you need to stop, okay? You're not qualified to coach people on life. Okay, you're not qualified. Just building my menus for my video game. Trailer is coming in October when first OF rules come in. Why are you talking about OF? What does OF got to do with gaming? Like, I don't know why you're mixing that. Let me finish this drink, then I finish this. What can I do to monetize my TikTok? Affiliate marketing, write an ebook. Well, not write an ebook. You don't have the knowledge to write an ebook. You know, write an ebook on what? What are you going to write an ebook on? How to be a failure? I mean, there's nothing for you to write an ebook on. Like, I can write an ebook on making money online, but I mean, so, you know, my life will improve when I connect with higher quality people. Connecting with low quality people like you meet in boxing is not good. You know, a lot of these sports, you don't meet high quality people in these sports. You know, I'm supposed to be in Germany right now at a business event, right? I'm supposed to be in Germany right now. Not saying I would have definitely gone, but if there was no pandemic, maybe I would have gone to Germany. But I'm not. But at a business event, you can make those kind of connections. Some of you guys aren't that great socially. You know, I'm not that great socially. But, you know, sometimes you just click with certain people. But, you know, you meet quality people in high tier sports. You know, did you watch the tennis final? You know, the kind of people who watch tennis. I'd rather be in that crowd because you can meet quality people at Wimbledon. You know, you can meet quality people at Wimbledon. You can meet quality people at the horse racing. You know, you can meet quality people at Formula One. That's where you meet high quality people. You don't meet high quality people at a boxing gym full of thugs and criminals like Mike Tyson, who was a rapist. You don't meet quality people there. You think I want to associate with people who do boxing? Anthony Joshua. You know Anthony Joshua sold weed. Did you know that? Anthony Joshua sold weed. He's a criminal. And that other Jamaican guy who came to this country that fought Anthony Joshua, he was a criminal in Jamaica. And he admits it. You know, all these boxers are criminals. And the thing is, if you don't make it in boxing, you're going to become a criminal. The only reason why they're not criminals is because they made it in boxing. Right? So why are you trying to become a boxer? Why are you trying to... You're doing the opposite of what I'm saying. You know? You are doing the opposite of what I'm saying. I say to connect with higher quality people. Join higher quality clubs. You know? You got to start connecting with high quality people. If you have autism, like Dr. Jangles, well, Mr. Jangles, Dr. Jangles, you got money in crypto. You got money in crypto. You say it's over for you. You got $185,000 in crypto. What are you doing with it? You're going to sit on crypto? You know? You're going to sit... I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do with your money, but, you know, it's like, what happens if that drops? Why don't you cash out now? You know, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do if you should cash out now, but I'm just saying perhaps you should think about cashing out your crypto, because at the end of the day, I mean, you know, crypto is very volatile. See, I know that I can make it to the upper class of society. A lot of the trolls who hate my guts don't want me to make it to the upper class of society. They don't want me to make it to the upper class of society because they love misery. They love failure. You know, they love failure. They want to see me suffer. A lot of people want to see me suffer. And that's why I'm keeping this channel up. Because when I touch down in another country and I got my beachfront apartment, I got, you know, everything, a jacuzzi and everything, I'm going to troll. I'm going to become a troll. I'm going to troll the guys who trolled me. I'm going to make them see my success and make them suffer. You know? With 100K, you can start a business easy. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can start a business with 5K. At one point, dropshipping, you can start a dropshipping business with literally nothing, $100. Boxing is fine. Go for the health benefits. I'm from AJ's gym. You don't have to mix with criminals. It's up to you. At the end of the day, why would I go and box? For the health benefits. Yeah, I can punch a bag, I can punch it in the pads, but I'm not gonna let somebody punch my face. I mean that's kind of stupid. I mean, you know, like you can let somebody punch your face, you know, if you're like, you know, doing it like just to toughen up a bit, but to do that as a regular basis, like that don't make any sense to me. I want a big house in Germany. Well, you know, I don't particularly want to live in Germany, but if you want to live in Germany, good for you. Losers want to see people suffer. Winners want to see their business do better than their competitors. We want to, you know, we want to compete, man. We want to compete with other people. See, I mentioned this before. I'm not scared of competition. I don't invite competition, but I'm not scared of competition. You know. I called this guy for a 500K apartment to rent because someone said the banks are begging to hand out loans, and the guy on the line laughed when he's found out I'm 19 and broke. Let me tell you something about this country, okay? Let me tell you something about this country. This country treats everybody like, even me, I treat it like a peasant in this country. If you're not a multi-millionaire Russian or Chinese investor, you know, or some, you know, Roman Abramovich or some guy, I mean, they don't care. I mean, this country treats everybody like a peasant, you know, and that's why I'm trying to get out of this country, because even if I, you know, show my money, it's nothing in this country. I mean, you know, when you go to a foreign country as a foreigner, they automatically respect you. You know, No Joke Howard, I don't know if some of you guys remember No Joke Howard, bit of a weirdo, but he said he traveled in Southeast Asia, and he said that, you know, in Cambodia they only respect that you got money. Well, that's great for me, because in Cambodia I'm rich. I'm like a millionaire in Cambodia. See, I want people to respect money, but the thing is that you have to make so much money in this country to be respected. You know, it's like basically, if you're in your 20s or 30s, you don't stand a chance, even if you're going in the right direction in life. I make $1,100 of passive income. This is going way too long. I need to finish this drink and finish this crap. I make $1,100 of passive income from my interest in crypto, compounded weekly. I have it in a stable coin making interest. Okay, what are you doing with that 1,100? What are you doing with that 1,100, man? That's the question. What are you doing with it? I'm from the gym of Bugsy Malone, a guy from Manchester who came from rags to riches in rap music and became a millionaire, so-called millionaire. Like the UK's 50 Cent. There's no 50 Cent in the UK, man. 50 Cent, you know, the UK's 50 Cent. What a joke. Actually, I like 50 Cent because he said, get rich or die trying, you know. Even though he promoted a lot of bad things, but get rich or die trying, that's actually a really good saying. I want a penthouse in Monaco. I mean, yeah, you might want that, but that's not going to happen. George should have gone to the internship. He should have gotten more legs. Well, you know, George's journal has lived his entire life in fear and desperation. George's journal is scared of everything. He's scared of his own shadow. I mean, George's journal is so socially awkward. He's not very naturally intelligent, you know, and he doesn't have any charisma. I mean, the guy talks like he doesn't have a soul or something. Like, I mean, George's journal, that guy has no chance. I mean, I think he's going to end up, I don't want to say this, but I think he's going to end up finishing himself, because the problem with George's journal is that the guy hasn't even read the Bible. He claims that he's such a Christian. I know he hasn't read the Bible. I mean, George's journal will never sit down and actually read the Bible. You know, he won't do it. I mean, the guy is just, you know, I don't know about George's journal, man. I mean, the UK is still more class obsessed. More class obsessed than what? I mean, the UK is all about, you know, I mean, just watch the Wimbledon, just watch, you know, what's it called? The horse racing, Royal Ascot. Then you'll see. I'll make money from TikTok, bro. This guy is so Gen Z. This guy is a Gen Zer, like the Gen Z of all Gen Zs. I'll make money from TikTok. Yeah, Gen Zers are just a good laugh, aren't they? I just wish I chose pet niche instead of no fap, because pet consumers are women. This guy is a funny guy. Am I the only guy that finds this guy funny? The UK hates its own people. The UK hates everyone, man. If you go into the internship, you could get a better chance. You saw my response video. It was good. Watch James' part in that documentary, The Secret. I've seen it. I made a response video to it. When I stopped being afraid of stuff, started to open for me. Exactly. When you become fearless, life becomes limitless. You know, but our fear comes from our parents, though, because our parents never took risks. You know, I'm standing here trying to help some of you guys. Some of you guys are moving in the right direction. I went MGTOW now, bro. You can't be MGTOW because you make 30 or 50 a day. How can you get married? Who's going to marry a guy? See, this is the problem. People think that any guy can become MGTOW. What does MGTOW mean? MGTOW means I'm going my own way, meaning I'm not cohabitating with a woman. I'm not married to a woman. How you can't even do that anyway, so how can you be MGTOW? I don't even consider myself MGTOW. Because I'm not saying that I won't get married. I may get married down the line. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what the future holds for me, you know. But I'm not getting married here in the Western countries because, you know, Western women don't really have much to, I mean, what am I going to do with a Western woman? You know, see, there's really nothing that, you know, I'm going to be spending. I mean, you're catering for their own, how do you say? I don't even know what the word to use, but I mean, you got women nowadays going on cruises. You know, I saw one woman, she was like 21, 22 years old. She went on they call it vacation. Yeah, women's own vanity. You know, oh, I'm going on a vacation. One other woman said, I've never had a vacation. You know, these women are so they're so vain. What do you mean vacation? I'm supposed to take you on a cruise? Are you crazy? Like, I'm not going to take a woman on a cruise. I'm not going to do that. Oh, you're poor, and then they say you're poor. That's what they say. They insult you for not like. I don't want no part of that crap, man. I don't want no part of that crap. If I get with a woman, it's going to cost me, $500 a month. Yeah, that's it. That's it. $500 a month. That's nothing. That's cheap. But these women are costing $3,000 a month in the West. It's not cheap. I mean, St. Adrian is right. They're expensive. I mean, they're expensive. I mean, at the end of the day, the young women, these festivals. I mean, aren't we supposed to be in a pandemic? See, why do they tell us we're in a pandemic, yet people are going to festival? Does that make any sense? If the government believed there's a pandemic, why would they let people go to a festival? Does that make any sense? Why are we pretending we're in a pandemic when they know they're not? They know that they're not. You see these people in festivals because they want to inject people at these festivals. They have an injection center there. It's not even about the money. Don't stop focusing on the money, because we're not living in a capitalist society anymore. They want to stop face-to-face business. I can't go to a business event. Business events are what I like to do. I like to go to business events. I can't go to any business events. Drinking. Yeah, you're a socialist. You're a socialist. Why are you drinking for? I thought drinking was for the bourgeoisie. Oh no, I'm just, when you see the level of socialism, every woman is a socialist now. Every woman is a socialist now. I mean, any new business events in the UK, business events are finished as far as I'm concerned. I will never go to one again because they won't let me in. I'm not willing to put up with all these restrictions. I remember when I went to a business event in February, and it was funny. I didn't realize that people cared about the pandemic. Right, so I went to a business event in February, and I put my hand out, and the people were hesitant to shake my hand. This was before February. Before in March, it was declared as a real pandemic. But in February, people were already scared of it. Like, I put my hand out and this woman looked at me. That was pretty funny, man. But yeah, I mean, people like Malcolm Sutherland, you've never been to a business event, have you? You've never been to a business. A lot of guys have never been to a business, and they're free. They're free, man. I've given up on society, especially America. Well, I gave up on this country years ago, but the thing is with the US, man, the US is not a great country as they claim. The US is a great country to make a little bit of money. Yes, I don't want to stay here because I don't want to disrupt people, man. It's not good to disrupt people. I mean, they don't want to hear what I'm talking about. Because I don't like it when people do that to me, But yeah, I think that you do sell, first of all, you need to focus on making money, not views. You're following hiding in my room. Views don't mean anything. You're too Gen Zer. Stop being a Gen Z. Stop focusing on views. That's a Gen Z mentality. Oh, look at me. I'm going to kill myself because I didn't get liked on Facebook. Stop being so Gen Z and start to be a man. Stop worrying about views on TikTok and start looking at numbers, money. Get that money. I am a Gen Z person. Well, God help you. That's all I can say. God help you. I can't run a business because I live with roommates. You live with roommates, but you got 185,000. How you live with roommates and you got 185,000? Are you sure you got 185,000, bro? You know? Are you sure you got 185,000? Look, these guys on bikes are doing their Uber Eats, man. It's a good way to make money. You keep saying you know how to make money, but you're not making any. You know? Let me tell you something. Right? Let me tell you something. If you knew how to make money, you'd be making it. Okay? I did 5 hours cycling today. Yeah, that's overkill. See, this is exactly what you're doing, man. You're trying to do too much that's not really worth it. You got to know your worth of your time. That's what every rich person says. Every rich person says you got to know how valuable your time is. See, if I wanted to, I can make a hell of a lot of money selling courses. I could sell courses to the people, but it's not my thing, really. You know, women wasting money on KFC, McDonald's. Well, I mean, you know, men are doing that too. I mean, I don't know why you're talking about women doing that, but so yeah, man. I personally think that a lot of you Gen Zers are finished, you know. Let me tell you something. A lot of you guys like to talk about age, but a lot of Gen Zers are messed up in the mind. They think about TikTok and they think about, you know, like Gen Zers. I want to know what they're going to produce. I'm really interested to see what Gen Zers are going to produce in the future. You know, I mean, I really want to see what Gen Zers are going to produce in the future, because to be honest with you, I don't see them producing anything good. I really don't. I think Gen Zers are the most useless generation. I mean, they're so sensitive. They're so childish. I mean, they all are young, but even the ones that are 18, 19, you know. I mean, the level of anime that's being consumed. You know, anime is supposed to be a thing for boys. Now girls are watching anime. Girls. You know, girls are watching anime. You know. Girls are watching anime. You know. Girls are playing Call of Duty. You know, when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out in 2011, okay? You know, no girls played Call of Duty. When I was in a RuneScape, I played RuneScape back in 2004 and 5 and 6 and 7. No girl played it. Girls are now playing video games. Gen Z or girls, they're playing video games now. So the girls are becoming like boys. You know what I mean? Oh my God, it's finished, bro. We don't even have defined genders. Gen Zers do not believe in gender. They believe in something called gender fluid. Let me tell you something. I'm going a bit off topic, but Gen Z, I asked a girl, okay, are you single? Did I say, are you single? No, I said, are you single? Okay, she said, yes. I said, so are you only into guys? And she said, no, both. I said, so you are bi? She said, that's what these Gen Zers believe. I am pan. They create all these fake. I mean, these Gen Zers are mentally ill. There is something wrong with it. I want to see what the world's going to be like under these people. Gen Zers, you know, a lot of people will be shocked. Gen Zers don't believe in gender. Do I have a virtual assistant working for me? Yes, one from the Philippines. I need to get more. That's another thing. Let me touch on. I'm going way too long. Goodness me, I've destroyed the whole stream because of you, Juicel. It's your fault, Juicel, man. Why do you have to come in today? You know, why do you have to come here today, man? You ruined the stream with your silly stuff. I've ruined it. You write so many comments. You write so many comments. Gen X never played video games. Girls should not be playing video games. Unless it's The Sims. You know, The Sims has historically been a girly kind of game. But, I mean, you know, now girls are playing a shooter game. You know what, Juicel? How much money do you have? Seriously. I don't like asking people how much money they have. But, how much capital do you have? How much capital do you have, man? Please answer the question. I'm about to finish this. 61 pound. You have 61 What have you been doing with your cash? So you pay for this boxing. How much you pay for this boxing? You need to stop this boxing, man. You are broke. You are broke as a joke. You need to stop all extracurricular activities, man. You're not taking life seriously. You got 61 pounds. You know, 61 pounds. Stop. I was only asking Juicel how much money he has. Because I know he's poor. So yeah. You know, I know that what I'm worth and the lifestyle that I deserve. I've never wanted, you know, to live in a mansion. I've never wanted to live in a mansion. Somebody who, you know, has a massive house. But I've wanted to be in a location whereby everything's within walking distance. I've wanted to be waited on hand and feet. I've wanted to live a lifestyle of luxury. And I'm worth that lifestyle. Do you believe honestly that you are worth that lifestyle? See, I know some of you guys don't. I know some of you guys don't. I know some of you guys had ridiculously low expectations for yourself because your parents were losers, right? But this is the thing. I look at myself and I say, this is not the life I envisioned for myself. I'm waking up every morning and thinking, my life sucks. Now, part of it is because of the fact that I am still in this country. Okay? But the other part of it is, you know, the fight is on to improve your position in life. The fight is on to live a life that is worth living. And like 50 Cent said, get rich or die trying. I'm willing to die to escape the lifestyle that I'm living. Because the lifestyle that I'm living isn't worth living. I've been in this position since February 2020. Okay? Since February 2020, I have gained nothing except money. Okay? I've gained money, yes. But I haven't had any new experiences. I was watching some of these channels. I was watching Ace Live. Ace Live. I don't watch him. I don't tend to watch him much, but he was in Mexico. Okay? He was in Mexico. and he took a hot air balloon, which I've never been on one, but he took a hot air balloon, and he took a hot air balloon, okay, and he went over the pyramids in Mexico, okay, and it was quite an experience. I mean, that's quite an experience, and that's what I think life's about. Life's about experiencing different things, and if you've got the money to experience different things, I think you're living a fulfilled life. I really think you're living a fulfilled life if you are allowed to experience new things on a consistent basis. And I'm suffering right now because I'm in a cycle, you know. I'm not even in the rat race. I'm in something that's worse than a rat race. But the rat race isn't good because you're in a cycle. I don't want to be in a cycle. I don't want to be in a position whereby I cannot enjoy anything, where I'm living such a restricted life. My life in this country is heavily restricted. Okay? I don't want to be restricted. But see, we're raised to believe that restrictions are, you just have to accept your position. No, you don't have to accept your position. You accept your position, but I don't have to. You know? So, let's have a look at these comments. Don't become a study cell doing a master's. Well, I mean, I'm not a big fan of university, but it can be beneficial. I'll do e-commerce. Yeah, well, e-commerce is a broad spectrum. My parents taught me the value of money. That's good. I want to move to Ukraine and live like a king there. Well, I mean, look, Ukraine, I don't know how well English is widely spoken there. Ukrainian, Russian is definitely widely spoken there. Cost of living in Ukraine tends to be quite low. You know. So, I mean, Ukraine, to me, I don't think these former Soviet countries really fit the lifestyle that I want to live, so to speak. I mean, it doesn't, I don't know, I mean, but it depends. It's all about the lifestyle that you're interested in. Are you more of a city cat? Are you more of a, you know, some people like to build a big house and live out in the middle of nowhere. Some people like the beach lifestyle. Some people like nightlife. It depends what you're into. Some people like extreme luxury, you know, Saint-Tropez, yachts. You know, if you're super rich, you can have the yachts kind of lifestyle in Saint-Tropez and Monaco. And so it depends what kind of lifestyle you like. But when you got money, you can live the kind of lifestyle, you know. So that's the thing. It's sad you have to ask that question. I don't know what you mean, princess, for you. I don't know what you mean. You have to say what question I'm talking about. True, due to having money, I was able to go hiking in Scotland and go on a beach vacation in Wales. Interesting. Any good beaches in Wales? Hiking in Scotland. The Highlands, is that where you went? The Highlands in Scotland? That's where they film those movies, I think. Joshua Fluke, I've never heard of him. I'm going to sell stuff at flea markets that I buy from AliExpress. I don't think that's going to work, man. I don't think that's going to work. I hate the city. Well, I mean, I don't necessarily hate the city. I like the coastline, I guess. He sounds like Daniel from Hiding in My Room. But what do you mean? Who are you talking about? I want a simple house in the countryside, maybe a ranch. Well, I mean, I don't know where you got that experience from. But if you like the countryside, a simple house, maybe a ranch, that's not going to be cheap. Not a penthouse in Monaco. Yeah, Highlands and Carving Way. At Juice, you're Daniel from Hiding in My Room, lost brother. I think he has a lot in common with Daniel from Hiding in My Room. I think he has a lot in common with him, you know. And his mentality is views over actual money, you know. I don't respect YouTubers, by the way. I don't. I'm not a YouTuber. Very few YouTubers I respect. One that I have a lot of respect for is Linus Tech Tips. You know, Linus Tech Tips, he deserves success, and let me tell you why. Linus Tech Tips, he was working for a company called NCIX, sorry. And what he did, he proposed to I think he proposed to the owner that he wants to become, the representative to show people how to basically give a showcase of how tech works. Now, this was in the early days. This was like in 2007, 2008, okay? He wanted to show people how does tech work, okay? And showcase the products. And that's basically, he spurned that, and that became a big thing, okay? And that's how Linus Tech Tips, and that's how initially the tech channels got started. Where, you know, they show you, okay, this is how to build a PC, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Juicel, you keep saying you got to get tested for autism. Please, forget about all that for now. Get tested for autism. There's something wrong with you. You say, I'm doing this in the same video in 5 minutes. You say, I'm doing electrician, I'm doing finance. How many things you got to talk about? There's something wrong with your mind. There's something wrong with your mind. Okay? There's something wrong with your mind. You need help. Mental help. I learned how to build a PC from Tech Tips. Shout out to Tech Tips, man. That's a real guy. That's a real guy, man. He's a good guy. I like him. I like him a lot. You know, because he's not like Logan Paul, who just came on and did some bullshit. He actually came on here. Okay? He actually came on here and actually did something positive and created something that was, you know, actually good for the people. So, you know, I respect that guy. I don't respect most YouTubers. I think most YouTubers are detrimental. You know, the side men. The only thing I like about the side men is they're not here to show off like women and stuff like that, like Jake Paul, that idiot. But the side men are selling out to Tinder anyway. You know, the side men, I don't really like the side men. Some of them are inspirational, like that guy, that short guy, Vic. You know, Vic is an inspirational guy with his house and all that. But, I mean, I don't know. How much money do you need to leave your country? Shout out to Vic, though. Vic seems like the nicest guy, like, out of all of them. But, you know, that retard Harry, I don't like that Harry guy. I mean, that guy was driving a Range Rover at age 17. I read his profile. You know, I read his profile. That guy was driving a Range Rover at 17. He don't deserve. I mean, I've been going 1.5 hours. I've been going too much. I'm just gonna. How much money do I need to leave the country? I need. I've been going way too long. This is the final thing I'm gonna answer. Not much, because I work online. I got enough money to leave the country. Now, see, you gotta decide what you want to do. Okay, do you have an online business? Are you going there to start a business, or are you going there to work and teach English? Or maybe you found another job that you can do. It all depends on what are you going there to do, right? You're on too long, end the stream. Exactly, I know. It's Juicel's fault, man. He came in and just spammed it so much. So yeah, that's it, man. It's your own man here, the Truth of Madness. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Or if you aren't already, make sure you hit the notification bell so you're informed every time I upload a new video.